Welcome to the video. My name is Joseph Ranke. I'm going to be talking about 401ks today, specifically 401k explanation for beginners. Those of you that are students or just graduating, going to learn a lot from this, especially when you're looking at different options and from different employers. So let's jump right into it. We're going to go through some terms that you need to know, so that way you know what job to take and whatnot. So the first thing that you'll need to know, the first term is this term called matching. Okay. And you might hear something like, we match 3%, okay? What that means is, like, let's just say your income is $70,000 per year, and you put in $2,100 a year into your retirement. Your employer will put in $2,100 a year. It's basically free money. Make sure you get that, okay? And this is important, too, because let's just say you're looking at other jobs, and a company is like, hey, company A is like, hey, we have a 3% match, and your salary is $70,000. And another company's like, you know, we'll pay you $72,000, but we don't have a 401k and no match and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, it can end up costing you a lot, meaning over time, that match can end up being worth a lot of money, okay? Like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 by the time you hit retirement. So that's what the match is. Now, you also might see something about partial matching, and you might hear a phrase, something along the lines of like, we match 50% up to 6%. Again, going back to $70,000 a year in salary, that means that if you put in $4,200 per year, that your employer matches $2,100. So they will match you 50% of your contributions up to 6% of your income, okay? So again, we went through matching and partial matching. Now you have potential where you combine those, okay? And we don't see this very often, but we still do see it. And that is, we match up to 3%, 100% up to 3%, and 50% up to 6%, okay? What does that mean? And again, this is where people get confused with the 401ks. Let's just say you get $70,000. If you put in $2,100 into your retirement, your employer will match $2,100 because that's 100% up to 3% of your income. But then if you put in another $2,100 on top of that, then the employer only matches 50%. So that's $1,050. Okay, so that's what that we're just like, hey, we match 100% up to this amount, but then we also match 50% up to this amount. That's what that means. Now, in these examples, I use like 3% matching and all that type of stuff. It doesn't have to be 3%. Okay, let's just say it's 2%. Well, then it's going to be a 2% match. If they say we match 50% of your contribution up to 4%, that means if you contribute 4% to your retirement, they put in 2%. Okay, so again, go back, watch this video, because those are some key terms that you have to look to analyze this stuff. The last one that you'll see is vesting. Again, we don't see this very often because most vesting is immediate. And what vesting means is like the part that your employer contributes. When do you get that? So most of the time when your employer contributes, you get it immediately, okay? But some have vesting schedules. So let's just say your company has a 4-year vesting schedule, and they say, okay, well, we're going to match $2,000 of your contribution per year. So let's just say it's 2022, you put that $2,000 into your 401k, they match $2,000. You don't get the full $2,000 right away. Okay, in this example, after 1 year, you get to keep $500. After year 2, you get to keep another $500, etc., etc. That's what vesting means. Okay, again, we don't see that very often. Most of the time, the contribution is immediate. Let's go through, like a lot of people are going to ask, I get this question all the time, is matching really worth it? Let's see what actually happens with a real-life example. So in this, I'm going to use this as our technology to show you an example of like how you can see how much a match is going to make you if you're trying to compare job offers, all that type of stuff, how to actually do it. So you can see here in this financial planning technology, I'm going to contribute 3% of my income. And in this example, my employer matches 3% and I'm getting an offer of $70,000. Okay, so I can save this. I can come out here and I can run a simulation on this. Give it just a second, let this run for a minute. And you can see here, if I expand this out towards retirement, that I'd have about $1.56 million. Okay, it's about $1.5 million. Now, let's just say I'm comparing that to the same job offer of $70,000, but the other employer that I'm looking at has no match whatsoever. So I just changed it to 0% match, and this is going to tell me exactly how much my match actually is going to be making me over the life of my employment life. So you can see here, I'd have about 1.25 million. So the 3% match, my employer's 3% match, gives me an extra $250,000 over my working life. Now, that's if I'm comparing two jobs of like 70,000 and 70,000. Now, let's just say I have that one job that's $70,000 and they have a match at 3%, but I'm comparing it against a job that's not $70,000 and I'm actually getting paid $75,000. So I could come in here and just say, okay, $75,000. So in this example, there's a job offer that pays me more but doesn't give me a 401k match, versus a job that pays me less but does give me a 401k match. Okay, so now I can come in and then compare this. So you can see now that in my retirement, I'd have about 1.29 million. So let's round up to 1.3. So even though I'm getting a $70,000 salary, the 3% match that my employer is giving me in that other example would still give me $200,000 more in retirement money by the time I hit retirement. That is how powerful a match is because of the pre-tax contributions and whatnot. That is one of the biggest reasons why we say if you get offered a match, make sure you go get it. Again, if you have questions or want to simulate something like this, all you have to do is build your profile at fitbucks.com. If you need help doing it, once you build your profile, you hit the dashboard, there's a little phone icon up here. Just click it, schedule a call with your FitBucks coach. It's free. We'll walk you through this. If you guys got any questions, we'll talk to you soon.